Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the official Quincy Sports bracket video. I'm sorry there was no bracketology this year. I've just been incredibly busy with school and a bunch of other things, and I just haven't really thought to sit down and do it on a weekly basis. So I'm sorry there was no bracketology this year, but I will give you an official bracket, and there will be a bracket group if you want to join. There will be a bracket challenge. Link in the description. Make sure you check that out. Join if you want to. Um, but yeah, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make our picks. I already have the first round filled out. I made an original one and then I kind of like scrapped it. I'm just gonna start over because I didn't really like it that much. But I have the first round already filled out. I'll talk about the first round matchups. First matchup: Auburn versus the winner of Alabama State and St. Francis. Should be Auburn by at least 30 points. Louisville and Creighton. This is an interesting matchup. I think Louisville is criminally underseeded. I think they should be way higher than an 8. I think I had them at like a 5 or a 6. I mean, the runner-ups in the ACC, they're a really good team. Creighton's also really good too. They beat UConn, made it to the Big East title. In this matchup, I like Louisville. This game's gonna be fun. This game's gonna be a lot of fun. Michigan and UC San Diego. UC San Diego is the trendy upset pick. Michigan just won the Big Ten, and the spread is pretty close. Michigan 2.5. This guy, Anawaniwa Tate Jones, is a dog. This guy's really good. But obviously, Michigan, a really good team in their own right. They did just run through the Big Ten tournament. I've seen teams go on runs in the Big Ten tournament, and then they lose in the first round. Like, I've seen it happen all the time. Like last year, Wisconsin made it all the way to the Big Ten title game, lost to James Madison. UC San Diego is really, really good. This seems like a textbook 5-12 for me. I'm taking UC San Diego. Down here, Ole Miss versus the winner of San Diego State and North Carolina. Let me get this out of the way. I go to Indiana. I'm a student there. I've been to almost every Indiana game this season, at least the home games. It is an absolute disgrace that they got left out in favor of North Carolina. And it's because North Carolina's athletic director is the head of the committee. Like, he's just the head of the committee. And they put UNC in when they had one quad one win. And it was a neutral site game against UCLA. They were 1-12 in quad one games. And even worse off is Xavier, who has one good win on the road at Marquette. And they beat UConn at home. They have no other good wins. They ran through a terrible Big East, and when they played the really good teams of the Big East, they did not fare well. The fact that West Virginia and Indiana got left out, West Virginia honestly is even worse. I mean, they had 6 quad one wins. Indiana had 4, but they had a blowout win against Purdue. They won on the road at Michigan State, and they played a way harder schedule than both of them. I think it's disgraceful. They also had Indiana had no quad 2 through 4 losses. UNC has a home loss to Stanford, which is quad 3. It's embarrassing, honestly, for the whole selection committee that they got that wrong, and they should really be ashamed of themselves. With all that being said, they're probably going to beat Ole Miss. Like, that's going to happen. You know they're going to beat Ole Miss. Like, everyone know. Like, I think it's coming from a mile away. I can see it. I can see it. They're going to be like, see, that shows we deserve to be in. So, I mean, I see that coming from a mile away. I'm taking. It could be San Diego State too. I'm not that impressed with Ole Miss. Like, they're good, but are they great? No. So I like that there. I got Iowa State over Lipscomb. Iowa State started off the year really, really hot, and then they just kind of cooled off near the end of the year. Like, yeah, they had a rough stretch to end the year. These are just their notable games. Okay. But yeah, they're still really good. I mean, I don't think they're going to lose to Lipscomb. I got Marquette over New Mexico. This one's close. I've heard a lot of people are really debating about this. For me, it comes down to the fact that, like, this is going to be a great matchup. Cam Jones versus Donovan Dead. These two are really, really good. It comes down to the fact that when has the Mountain West, like, ever made a deep run in March? Like, normally their teams just aren't that great come March. I feel like you got to look at, like, I don't know. I think Marquette's a better team. I'm going to take Marquette. Michigan State and Bryant. I'm going to take Michigan State. I think that's pretty straightforward. Let's go back up to the top. Duke versus the winner of, I think that's American and Mount St. Mary's. We're going to take Duke for obvious reasons. Baylor over Mississippi State. This game is, I don't know, just pick one of them. I mean, I think every year Mississippi State is fraudulent come March. Like I remember last year they were in the 8-9 against Michigan State and they got the brakes blown off them. Baylor. I mean they have 14 losses, but they're playing in a tough Big 12. I know Mississippi State plays in the SEC. I just like Baylor in this one. This is just a 50-50 really. Liberty and Oregon. Oregon's really good. I mean they whooped Indiana twice. I'm not that impressed with Liberty. I think this is a pretty easy. I wouldn't try to get too caught up in the 5-12 here. I think Oregon's should come away with a win pretty easily in this one. Now we look at our good friends over at Arizona, and I'm telling you one thing. Arizona, they always underperform come March. What was it? Not too long ago, they lost to Princeton. Was that last year or the year before? I believe it was the year before. But that was an embarrassing loss. Akron coming out of the MAC. I mean, they're pretty good, man. They're pretty good. I picked Arizona to win it all one year, and they got eliminated in embarrassing fashion. I'm not falling for the Kool-Aid this year. I'm picking an upset. I'm picking Akron. I'm not falling for the charade this year with Arizona. I feel like every year they underperform. BYU and VCU. Now, I really want to take VCU because they're really good. I mean, this VCU team, 28-6. BYU, however, has been really hot down the stretch. They got a lot of key wins as of late. I know they just lost to Houston by 20 in the Big 12 tournament, but I mean, stuff happens. It's Houston. They're really good. I love VCU. I think VCU is so good. This game's going to be played in Denver, though. That's a home game for BYU. Out of Utah, facing a team from Virginia, that's a home game for BYU. I think that is actually the reason I picked BYU. Wisconsin and Montana. I don't know enough about Montana. I think Wisconsin should win. They've been a really good team out of the Big Ten. St. Mary's and Vandy. This is going to be a good game, I feel like, but I do like St. Mary's. They got simulations down here. I didn't know they had these down here. 7 seeds have won 61%. Like, okay, just pick based on the matchup. I don't know. It's like 60 points a game for St. Mary's. Their defense is suffocating. They beat Gonzaga. In the. I forget who won. I think Gonzaga won the tournament, but St. Mary's beat them multiple times. I like them more than Vandy. I'm gonna take St. Mary's. Alabama and Robert Morris. I don't think Alabama's that great of a I'm not gonna pick Robert Morris, but I don't think Bama's that great. I feel like I just feel like they run this super fast tempo, but if they play a team that can either one can run with them or two can really slow the game down, they could be in trouble. But I'm gonna take them over Robert Morris for now. To the bottom half, Florida, Norfolk State. Florida just won the SEC. I'm going to take them over Norfolk State. UConn and Oklahoma. I mean, I think this is pretty easy. I think UConn has this one wrapped up. Oklahoma is just not that good, I don't think. They went undefeated out of conference, and then they kind of didn't really play well in the SEC. They got 107 hung on them by Alabama. They do have the win over Arizona, which is a really nice win for Oklahoma. But, I mean, other than that, look at these notable games. They lost all of them. I'm taking UConn. Memphis and Colorado State. Now, what's interesting about this game is that Colorado State is favored on the spread, which I don't think I've ever seen out of a 5-12. Can someone tell me the last time I saw a 12-seed favorite, a spread favorite? Something seems off to me. Colorado State's good, but, I don't. Yeah, they're favored on the thing. I don't understand this. I really don't. I think Memphis is really good. I think they're the better team. I mean, look at Memphis' notable results this year. They got a win over UConn. They got a win over Michigan State. They have a close. I mean, this game was pretty close against Auburn. I know that says they lost by 14. They have a win at Clemson. They got a win versus Ole Miss. Look at Colorado State. They got a loss to Ole Miss by a ton. And then they got a bunch of Pac-12. I think Memphis is going to win this one. I don't know why Colorado State's favored. Maybe I should trust people. Maybe I should trust Vegas, but I'm taking Memphis. Maryland and the Grand Canyon. I think Maryland's got this one. They've been really strong so far this year. I mean, close loss to Marquette. I mean, they have some really good wins too. Beat Illinois twice. I don't know. Grand Canyon got their win last year. Did they win last year? I think they won last year. I'm gonna take Maryland. Drake and Missouri. Now the big thing with Drake is that Indiana might be poaching their coach Ben McCollum. Ben McCollum was at Northwest Missouri State last year. Got the job at Drake. Brought almost a whole team of D2 players. Northwest Missouri State was the best D2 team like in the entire country. They would win the D2 national title like every year. And I think our cat's going crazy right now. She's just under the bed scurrying. I don't know if you guys can hear her or not. I'm taking Drake though. They play at the slowest tempo in college basketball, and they're trying to play the slowest tempo in college basketball. I think it can really throw teams off. They're 30-3. I thought they were going to be like a 10 seed, 11 seed against Missouri. I really like Drake's chances. Give me the Bulldogs. I got Texas Tech over UNC Wilmington. UNC Wilmington isn't bad, but I think Texas Tech should win. Kansas and Arkansas. This is a matchup. I feel like this is like a 1-8 one year, and Arkansas is the 8 like beat Kansas. I mean, Kansas has been struggling as of late. But they're still. Here's the thing: they've been struggling as of late, and they're only a 7 seed. They're Kansas. They're gonna win. I don't think Arkansas is that great. Arkansas started the year off really, really poorly, and then kind of turned things around. Whereas Kansas started the year off really, really good, and then slowed down to the end. Eventually, I think Kansas will win. St. John's and Omaha. I love St. John's. I think they're a dangerous threat. They're really, really good. They play some of the best on-ball defense out there. I mean, they don't shoot very well, but they don't have to. They defend so well. And I saw something that was like the only teams to ever make the Final Four shooting XX percentage as a 2 seed were Rick Pitino coached teams. I mean, they got it, dude. They have what it takes. I like St. John's. Houston and SIUE. This is actually the most popular 16 seed that's been picked, and you guys are crazy. Houston should win. Gonzaga and Georgia. This is going to be a blowout. I think this is going to be Gonzaga and Kansas are 2 teams that like never get upset. Like, what's the spread for this one? 5.5. I like Gonzaga. Georgia's not terrible, but I think they should win. Clemson and McNeese. I'm thinking about this one. I really am. Okay. I think McNeese is really good. They got Penny. You gotta chill out. Cat is just freaking out now. She's hopping over the bed. But here's my thing with McNeese. They got the close loss to Bama, and then like look at these notable games. They haven't played like their schedule's really, really weak. They lost 1 conference game the whole year, and they obviously ran through their conference tournament. Coached by Will Wade, really good coach. I just like there's no meat on the bone. There's just no meat on the bone. And Clemson, and on the flip side, Clemson's they're good. They're good. They got a win over Kentucky. They got the win over Duke. Like they're good. They're really good. I think this is a bad matchup for McNeese. If they were playing like a Memphis, I would think about it. Or like what's the other 5? Like if they were playing Michigan, like I don't know. I just think Clemson's a bad matchup for them. I'd like to see them win, but I do think that they'll win. Now let's look at this over here. Purdue, I mean, they're struggling right now. They at one point lost, I think it was 4 games in a row, including a blowout loss to Indiana, which isn't on here, but still. And then High Point, I mean, they're good. They got the win over North Texas. North Texas is really, really good. And all their losses are like really, really close. I mean, they play at such a high clip. They're really high in efficiency. I think they're one of the better offensive efficiency teams in the country. And we know Purdue always gets upset. They always do. Except for last year when they had a really, really good team and they were the number 2 team in the country and their only losses to UConn. Like they've struggled this year. They've lost. They've lost. They lost to Penn State. Like this I think screams upset. What's the spread on this game? 7.5. I like High Point outright. I think they're winning this one. I think the alarm is glaring for this one. I think High Point is going to take this one down. Illinois versus Texas and Xavier. I mean, neither one of these teams should be in the tournament. And I saw Illinois absolutely murder some teams in the Big Ten. I think Illinois will win. Kentucky and Troy. I think we got to take Kentucky. UCLA and Utah State. What do we got for a spread? 5.5. I feel like Utah State. I feel like every year I pick them and they underperform. UCLA. I mean, Mick Cronin's going to shut the game down defensively. I think UCLA should win. Spread's 5. Yeah, I think UCLA has this one. Tennessee and Wofford. I really like Tennessee. I think they're the. I mean, they almost won the SEC title. They got the win. They got wins over Auburn. They got wins over Florida. I know they just lost to Florida, but they beat them in the regular season. They're really good. They're one of the best teams in the country. I thought they could have been a 1. I think that game against Florida, because Florida as the last 1 seed. That game was like, I think 4 or 1 seed. But Florida did get the win, so Tennessee's the 2. I think they do end up beating Wofford. All right, so we're halfway through. Let's go to round number 2. This game, do they have hypothetical spreads? They don't. That would be crazy if they did. Now, okay, look at this. Number 1 seeds have won 61 of 78 matchups. 78%. That's 3 out of 4, almost. So every year, I do this every year, and I really shouldn't, but I do anyway. I pick 1, 8, or 9 seed to beat a 1 seed. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to pick 1, 8, or 9 seed to beat a 1 seed. This one's tempting, too. The reason this one's tempting is because this game would be played in Lexington. That's a home game for Louisville. Louisville fans will absolutely pack the place out. I just think Auburn's too good. I think they're too good. I mean, their whole team is like 5th-year seniors. They got it. I think they got it locked up. I mean, Louisville. I think this is going to be like a down to the wire game. Auburn will have enough juice in it to win. UC San Diego and Texas A&M. I don't know about this one. I think A&M could just have Wade Taylor take over the game, and they rebound really well. I think UC San Diego would have a much more tougher time in this matchup as opposed to Michigan. I'm going to take A&M. I thought about it, though. Iowa State against San Diego State or UNC. We're going to go with Iowa State. And then Michigan State Marquette, we're going to go with Michigan State. I think I like that. All right, over here, I'm not picking Baylor over Duke. I mean, they got Cooper Flagg. I mean, they ran through the ACC tournament, and they sat Cooper Flagg half the time. I think that's going to be an easy game for them. Oregon and Akron. I like Oregon in this one. They're really good. Shellstad's he's got it, man. He's good. BYU, Wisconsin? I'm taking BYU. This game's in Denver. That's a big advantage for BYU. And Wisconsin, I feel like they're a team that just relies so much on the 3. Like, they're bound to have a cold game shooting from downtown. BYU, I think, could shut this game down defensively. And I like the Storm and Mormons in this one. And then remember, I'm thinking about this one because Bama plays at such a high tempo, and St. Mary's will like to slow the game down and crunch you out defensively. Like, I think this is a bad matchup for Bama. I still think, man, I don't like this matchup for Alabama. I think they're so off and on. I think they could be due for a bad shooting night. And, like, if this is... I'm taking St. Mary's. Screw it. I don't think Bama's that good. I don't think they have it. I'm taking the Gales. Down here. So, it's going to be one of these two that I... like. And here's the thing. I told you I was going to pick an 8 over a 1. I don't really like these two. Maybe this one. Definitely not this one. These two I could see happening. Like, UConn has won 2 national titles in a row. And Gonzaga, I think they match up really well against Houston. The one that I think is more likely to happen is UConn over Florida. I think Florida, they're going to be, like, every year I feel like we see teams that make a run all the way through their conference tournament. They disappoint in March. I think UConn is more likely to get the win. I like the Huskies over Florida in this one. I like Maryland over Memphis. I think that Maryland's really, really good. I like Drake over Texas Tech. I mean, they play at such a slow tempo. I really like them. They're really well coached. And I hope Indiana hires Ben McCollum. I think that'd be such a great hire. This game I'm torn on. I really am. I think St. John's got a tough draw, really, I think, having to play Kansas in the second round. I mean, number 2 seeds and 170. Yeah, I feel like you got to pick at least 1 7 seed over a 2 seed. And like what we have, or we pick St. Mary's. Okay, so I think St. Mary, yeah. I'm gonna go St. John's. I think it's gonna be a tough game for Kansas. I think St. John's is just they're really, really good. As much as I'd like to take, I'm gonna take Houston. every year I pick Houston, it doesn't go well. Like every year I pick Houston, they do something wrong. I've picked them to make deep runs. I've picked them to win it all, and they never come through. I'm not falling for it this year. I'm taking Clemson over High Point. I just think High Point, like they're good, but I really like Clemson. They're really well coached. They've got what it takes this year. I'm going to take the Tigers. This one's close. This will be a really good game. I'm taking. Let's see. I'll take Tennessee, and then I'll take Kentucky. I think they'll get it done. Let's move to the Elite Eight or to the Sweet 16 matchups. Auburn and A&M. A&M actually beat Auburn at home. I think Auburn gets their revenge in the tournament. Give me the Tigers. Iowa State, Michigan. I like Michigan State in this one. They're really. I mean, they're super well coached. They're always. They're gonna. It's Michigan State. They're gonna turn it up come March. So I think I like that there. I'm gonna take Duke over Oregon. And then, interesting matchup here. I think I like BYU. Yeah, they've been doing really well in the Big 12, especially as of late. I really think I like them over St. Mary's in that one. Down here, this matchup's killing me. This matchup's killing me. I like Tennessee over Kentucky. I like Clemson over Houston. I'm not falling for the charade. I'm not doing it. I don't like. They're good. They're really good, but they've been really good the last couple of years. And what have they done with it? I know. They're Jamal Shed got hurt last year. I'm not falling for it. I'm taking Clemson, and then I think we're going with. Ooh, I don't know, and I don't know with this one either. Like the safe pick is St. John's, but I really like Drake. I really do. Really, really like Drake. Alright, what we're going to do... This one's tough, too. I'm going to take Maryland. And then... Let's go Drake. I'm doing it. You got to take a team to make a run. Like, NC State made the Final Four as an 11 seed last year. Man. This game, I think, matches up badly for St. John's because, like, Drake can play their style. They can win, like, this is going to be like a 54-50 game. I'm taking Drake. I'm taking the underdog. To go to the Final Four, I think the one seeds up here got these. I think Auburn and Duke are going to take, like, these two are just really, really good. I mean, I like BYU and Michigan State a lot. I think the one seeds are going to get it done in those matchups. Down here, I like Tennessee. And I like Maryland. Do I? No, we're going Drake. I'm taking my 11 seed. I think this looks like a Final Four that would actually happen. Like Auburn, like Drake, they're gonna play a style that nobody in the tournament's gonna want to face. Like they're gonna take no one's gonna want to face him. I'm telling you, nobody wants Drake. Now, to go to the national title game, I like Auburn. I think Drake's run comes to an end there. And I like Tennessee. I like Tennessee over Duke. I think they can really match up with them well. Tennessee will choke you out defensively. And then in the national title game, you guys know I hate to take the number one overall seed. But it happened last year. The number one overall seed won. This whole year, I just feel like Auburn's been a step ahead of everyone. I just think they've been a step ahead of everyone. Bruce Pearl's such a good coach. He's going to get his national title. My pick is Auburn to win it all. I think this is a good bracket. I like it. I like it a lot. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the picks. Remember, bracket link in the description. Take care, everyone. I'll see you around.